Hi there everyone, I'm the Nature Guy. I'm downstairs in our live room exhibit at the Nature Center. But I want to tell you about a group of birds called vultures. Now what's a vulture? Well, vultures are birds of prey that are scavengers. So they don't catch and eat their food, they find the dead stuff and eat it. Yeah, that's what a scavenger is. And vultures are all scavengers. And what's interesting is the head of a vulture doesn't have any feathers on it. And the reason for it is they're reaching into all sorts of yucky places inside a carcass or something to eat out what's inside. And so if they had feathers, they'd all get messed up and there'd be disease and sickness. So feathers on the head just doesn't work for the way a turkey vulture lives, or any vulture. Now, here in Michigan, we have turkey vultures. There are quite a few of them in the spring, summer, and fall. They go for the winter. Turkey vultures have a reddish featherless head. Okay, so the skin is reddish. They don't look really great, but they do an important job of cleaning up our environment. If you go a little further south down into Florida, you would find black vultures, or if you're in Texas or any of the southern states, black vultures have, guess what? Black heads. Again, featherless, but they're kind of black. And they're scavengers too. If you go further south down into Costa Rica, where I was just not too long ago, you have lesser yellow-headed vultures. They kind of look like small turkey vultures, and instead of a red head, it's sort of red and yellow mixed together. But the one I really want to talk about, the king of the vultures, is the king vulture. That's its name. It's different. It's got a white body with black wingtips, and its head is incredibly colored. There's just about every color under the rainbow in the head of this king vulture. Now, king vultures live in the rainforest. They like the heavy canopy cover. They'll sometimes fly above it, but they'll often be found in underneath it. And they find their food in a little different way. Remember, they're looking for dead stuff. And so turkey vultures and black vultures, they use their sense of smell. And I guess it must smell good to them, but they can find their food based on the sense of smell. King vultures use vision. They don't use their sense of smell. And it turns out they'll fly around high over the forest, watching for the black vultures and turkey vultures that have found the dead rotting stuff. And then they'll come down and follow the other scavengers to get to the carcass and help eat it too. Now, king vultures have a very strong bill. So they can cut into the carcass of, say, a deer dies, they can cut into the carcass and get the meat inside, but that opens up the carcass for other animals too. So not only does the king vulture eat, but it creates a condition so that the other scavengers can get a mouthful too. That's why the king vulture is often referred to as a keystone scavenger. It kind of starts the whole process. So as we watched the king vulture down in Costa Rica recently, it kind of reminded me that this vulture is kind of doing a maybe not so glamorous job, but it's really important to be cleaning up the environment. Otherwise there'd be disease and all sorts of other things that would affect all of us in a very negative way. So even though it's not a really high profile job, it's a really important job. And that's true for us humans. We all have different jobs to do. Some may be more up front, some may be more in the background, some may be cleaning. So there's just a lot of things that need done in our society, and everyone has their part, just like the king vulture does. So the next time you see a janitor at your school, or maybe the person washing the windows at your office, or those cleaning the dishes at home, why don't you say thank you for the cleanup crew? They do a really good job. That's our lesson for today. Bye.